Hey guys, it's Jenny here. Welcome back to my channel. So today I have a video that's going to be a little on the earlier side because it's still January. But yeah, if you guys don't know, my hair is dyed and cut. So I was getting migraines with my long hair. My hair is so thick, which I know it's a good thing, but I got my dad's hair and he has really thick hair. So my hair was all the way down to my stomach, and it was just dragging me down. There's still spots where it's so sore from how much my hair used to pull on it, but it just feels so much better now. So I wanted to make a change, and I'm so happy that I did. So today, I have my February TBR, which I guess this kind of goes with the theme. So yeah, I have 11 books here, which I know seems pretty daunting considering in January I've only read 8 so far. But I think I can manage because there's only a couple bigger ones and the rest of them are kind of medium size or smaller. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm filming this before my January wrap-up, just solely because these are the books that I want to focus on. There are a couple books that might get pushed onto this TBR if I don't finish them in January, and those would be like Glass Sword, Vicious. That was a huge crow. Vicious, Glass Sword, We Are the Ants, Strange the Dreamer, and Iron King. Those ones are ones I want to get to. Half of those are audiobooks, so I'm not too worried about it. And of course, I would still really like to get to Six of Crows sometime, but I just don't know when that's going to happen. So I want to get to that. I just really would like to have the audio for that. But let's get right into my February TBR. So the first book I want to mainly focus on is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This is our, this is my Massathon read for February. So the live show will be on the 23rd with, probably on Melissa's channel, unless we can figure out how to do it on my channel. But yeah, this centers on an assassin named Selena Sardothian, who is trying to win her freedom by being in a competition to become the king of Adarlan's personal assassin. So she gets broken out of the salt mines by the crown prince, and he chooses her to be his competitor in this competition. So the only twist is that during the competition, her competitors start getting picked off one by one by the strange darkness in the castle. So this is super, super good. We just actually did the live show for Assassin's Blade last night. And that was a lot of fun. I think as we do more live shows, we'll get better at it. But if you watched, thank you. If you joined us, big thank you. But yeah. Now the next book I would really like to read is The Wicked King by Holly Black. I have been long anticipating this for a year since I finished Cruel Prince, and I'm just so beyond excited to read it. My Fae crate for this should be coming this upcoming week, for sure this time, I hope. But yeah, I'm so pumped to read this. The only thing that makes me a little bit on the edge is the fact that every single author that I've seen read and review this book has cried and have said, oh my god, that cliffhanger, and now I'm a little bit scared. But there's nothing I can do about that. I just can't wait to devour this. I've heard that it's got a slower start, but it's a fantastic story, and I'm so excited. So yeah, The Cruel Prince centers on a girl named Jude, who, along with her twin sister and her older Fae sister, are taken into the world of fairy as children after a Fae kills their parents. So Jude and her sister are human, and Jude is desperate to fit in the world of fairies, so she's trying to be a knight, and she ends up clashing with one of the princes in this world, and he happens to be the cruelest prince, Cardan. So that whole story completely surprised me, because despite the hype, I had my reservations about it, but it totally came through and just knocked me out of my socks. So the next book is one that you guys probably are not going to believe that I have not read yet, and that is Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. Hey, this matches my sweater. But to be honest, I don't even know what this is about. The only thing I know is that it's a continuation, or rather a prequel, I guess, of The Mortal Instruments. So this is book 1 in the Infernal Devices. And yeah. All I know is that it involves Will Herondale, Tessa Gray, and James. So I really don't know, but this kind of is like the backstory of the Shadowhunter world. It takes place in London. Yeah, England. In the time of Queen Victoria. And something terrifying is waiting for her in London's downworld. She gets kidnapped by the Dark Sisters. She takes refuge with the Shadowhunters of the London Institute. And she's looking for her brother, and she gains the help of Will and I almost said James. So I've heard extremely good things about this series, and I finally decided it's time to pick it up, considering that all of the Dark Artifices books are out now. So, and I saw the cover for Chain of Gold. I can't remember if that's what it is, but it's her next book, which is a spin-off of the Dark Artifices. And that cover was beautiful. So I really want to be able to get through these books so I can pick that up. So yeah, Clockwork Angel. Next is, I think, the only reread I have on my TBR besides Throne of Glass this month. And that is The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. This centers on a girl named Shahrazad who volunteers to be the wife of their caliph. Yeah. She volunteers to be the newest wife of the Caliph of Khorasan, who is infamous for taking a wife every single night. And each one of his wives ends up killed the next dawn with a silk cord wrapped around her neck. So essentially she goes in there to infiltrate the castle and bring about the end to his reign of tyranny. Only she survives the dawn and many dawns after that. So I'm so excited to reread this. This completely took me by surprise the first time I read it, and I've been dying to pick this up ever since. So I'm definitely going to do that. I can't wait to get back into this world. And yeah, it's kind of in anticipation for Renee Ahdieh's new book, which I believe is coming out in September or November. And that's The Beautiful, which is a vampire story set in New Orleans. So the next book I have is Arusha and the End of Time by Roshani Chakshi. This is the first book in the Rick Riordan Presents series, and it centers on a girl named Aru who is used to stretching the truth, and she spends her autumn break in the Museum of Ancient Indian Art and Culture. She makes up stories about being royalty, and one day her schoolmates show up and catch her in a lie. They don't believe her claim that the museum's lamp of Bharata is cursed, and they dare her to prove it. But lighting the lamp has dire consequences, and she unwittingly frees the Sleeper, which is an ancient demon who is intent on awakening the god of destruction. So everybody gets frozen in time, and it is up to her to stop it. And I'm really excited. I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I really want to start reading some of Roshani Chakshi's books. I have this one, Star Touch Queen, and the Gilded Wolves. So I think she's such a beautiful person, and she seems so friendly, and I just want to see if that personality and just awesome heart is reflected in her writing. So, yeah. The next book I have is The Insignificant Events in the Life of a Cactus by Dusty Bowling. This is just a short little hard-hitting contemporary that I found on Book Outlet. So it's super tiny, super adorable, and it's about this girl named Avon who doesn't have any arms, and she's used to making up tall tales as to how she lost them, but the truth is that she was born without them, and at age 13 it still hasn't stopped her. And her parents take a job in Arizona, and she has to leave everything she knows behind. She struggles to make new friends because the kids at school can't see past her missing arms. Her life takes a turn when she meets Connor, who is a classmate who also feels isolated because of his disability. Together they discover an old storage shed at a park that holds bigger secrets she could ever imagine. It's hard to solve a mystery, help a friend, and face your fears, but she's about to find out what she's capable of and how far from insignificant she is. And I think that just sounds so adorable, and look at how cute this is without a jacket. It's a literal cactus, and I just thought this would be perfect. It's short, it's quirky, and overall I think this is going to be a really fast and adorable read. She sounds very quirky and lovable. So yeah. Now we will be getting into the paperbacks. So the first one I have is The Witch Doesn't Burn, and this one by Amanda Lovelace. This is a poetry collection, and yeah, essentially, let me see. This is the Women Are Some Kind of Magic series. This is book 2. The first collection was The Princess Saves Herself in this one, which I read. I don't remember, but I read it. Oh, I don't know. There's no real description of it, but it's feministy. So I can't wait to read this. I really love her writing style. So next I have The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is literally just a tale of gods and goddesses, kings and queens, immortal fame, and the human heart. And it centers on Achilles and his friend Patroclus. So I have heard this is very sad, and I'm a sucker for Greek mythology, so I already know I'm going to love this. Danielle from Truly Mooney does nothing but rave about this, so I can't wait to pick this up. I did already read the first chapter. Can't wait to continue. The only reason I didn't read it in January is because I couldn't fit it in, or else I totally would have. But Vicious beat it out for the chapter sampler. So I picked up Vicious and moved this to February. So the next book I have is The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye. This kind of gives me Throne of Glass vibes. But basically, it kind of is like a mixture between Red Queen and Throne of Glass. There's someone named Vika Andrevea who can summon the snow and turn ash into gold. And then Nikolai Karamov can see through walls and conjure bridges out of thin air. They are enchanters and the only two in Russia. And with the Ottoman Empire and the Kazakhs threatening, the Tsar needs a powerful enchanter by his side. So he initiates the Crown's Game, an ancient duel of magic skill. The victor becomes the Imperial Enchanter and Tsar's most respected advisor. The defeated is sentenced to death. So Vika is eager for the chance to show off her talent in the grand capital of St. Petersburg. But can she kill another enchanter even when his magic calls to her like nothing else ever has? For Nikolai, an orphan, the Crown's Game is a chance of a lifetime, but his deadly opponent is a force to be reckoned with. Beautiful, whip-smart, imaginative, and can't stop thinking about her. And when Pasha, Nikolai's best friend and heir to the throne, also starts to fall for the mysterious enchantress, Nikolai must defeat the girl they both love or be killed himself. And I think this sounds so good. I don't know if Pasha's a girl or a guy, but that would be so hilarious. Not even hilarious. That would be so rich if this was an amazing love triangle between... Yeah, that would be awesome. But I might pick that up on audio because I feel like I would give myself an excuse to put that down because of how much I struggle with the names. So that's something I definitely want to pick up on audio because I think that sounds like an amazing book. And I definitely want to read it. I just know I would struggle with the names. And that's kind of something I'm running into with Six of Crows as well. It's just some of the terminology is difficult. Apologies, my father called and asked for my order at the food place they were going to. Anywho, the next book is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I am so late to this train. Everybody's read this book, I feel like, and I've heard that the best way to go into this is blind, because all I know is that it's a thriller. It says, if anyone asks you how it ends, just lie. We are Sinclairs. We live, at least in the summertime, on a private island off the coast of Massachusetts. Perhaps that is all you need to know, except that some of us are liars. So it's best to go into this blind, and it sounds super intriguing, and I just don't know where this will go. There's a little map of their private island. So that's pretty cool. Oh, and there's a family tree, too. So I'm pretty excited to read this finally. I feel like this has been out for like years and I'm just now getting around to it, but that's fine. Lastly is Two Princes of Summer by Nissa Letter. And this is book 1 in the Whims of Fae series. This is actually a self-published book. Look at how beautiful it is. Guys, look. This was kind of giving me Cruel Prince vibes. Here, let me go look at the synopsis, because that was just like a blurb, I thought. Okay, no. So it's the Scarlet thought back to the night before her fight with Ashley, the party, and Kate. She remembered the lightness she felt when she was with him. She also remembered leaving her realm and entering his. She was in a different realm. What had she done? So I think this sounds really freaking cool. But yeah, this is a self-published story, and I'm pretty sure there are multiple books in the series. I think there's like 4 or 5, and there was a better blurb on Amazon, and I cannot remember what it is. But I can't wait to read this. The cover is so beautiful, and yeah. So that concludes my February TBR. I know it's such a reach given the fact that February is the shortest month, but some of these are shorter, so I think I can get to them. I also have the opportunity to get a couple on audio, and that will probably be Song of Achilles, The Crown's Game, and Lucia on the End Time, and maybe even Clockwork Angel. We'll just see. But this is my February TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below if any of these are on your February TBR, or if you have read any of these and liked them. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.